Hello. Welcome to our next essay, that is your essay 505 external confirmation. If you need these notes, you will find these notes in the Telegram channel. Link is in the description. Free notes. Okay. So, talking about essay 505 external confirmation, this lecture will be purely in English. So, external confirmation is your audit evidence obtained as a direct written response to the auditor from a third party in either paper or any other form. Okay, so this is any evidence that the auditor requires from any third party. So in such a case he will create a external confirmation request. For example, if you want to check as to how much bank balance does the company actually have, so the auditor will communicate with the bank as to, please could you provide me with the balance that the company has with you, and you can corroborate both the evidence, that is the bank statement of the company and the external confirmation that the bank gives you. Okay, now what are the types of external confirmation? So there are two types of external confirmation. One is your positive request and second is your negative request. Now your positive request, in case of a positive request, the third party has to reply in either case, that is even if it agrees or disagrees. In both the cases the third party will have to provide their confirmation. However, in a negative risk, the third party will only provide confirmation or only provide any communication only and only if it disagrees with the information in the request. That is, in the positive request, it will be both either agrees or disagrees. In both the cases it will confirm, but in case of a negative request, only and only if it disagrees will it provide any communication. Only then will it respond to the auditor. So of course your negative request provides less persuasive evidence than the positive confirmation request, because in positive you get a response, either positive or negative either, and in either case you get a response, but in negative you only get if the third party disagrees. So there are some instances when negative request may be used as a sole substantive procedure. These are about four examples where negative request may be used. First is, if the matter that you are asking for evidence or confirmation is of low risk of material uncertainty, there is low RMM for that matter, in that case you might use a negative request. Second is, population consists of large number of small homogeneous account balances that are similar account balances. Third, if there is expectation of low exception rate, that is you do not expect there to be a lot of deviations, in such a case you might use negative request. And last is, auditor is not aware of circumstances that the third party disregard request, that is auditor has past experience with regards to this party, and usually this party always responds. So in such a case auditor can use negative confirmation. Okay, now areas where external confirmation may be obtained, that is where we might use external confirmation. So first, this is the example that I told you about, that is your bank balance and other confirmation from bankers. Okay, then second is your account receivables and payables, that is you can ask with debtors and creditors as to what the account balance is. Third is stock lying with third parties, that is any stock that is lying with third party because it is not in the possession of the entity. So you can check with the third party as to how much stock do you have that belongs to the company. And last is your property title deeds held by third party. Since this is in hands of the third party, you can directly ask them. Okay, now what is the external confirmation procedure? Your external confirmation procedure first starts from determining the information that is to be confirmed. First you have to know, boss, what do I have to ask? Then second is selecting the appropriate party, that is you have to ask who do I have to ask. So your first question answers what, your second question answers who. Your third part is designing confirmation request, that is what has to be asked, what has to be, how should the letter be, that is you will be designing the confirmation request. Your fourth is sending the request. Of course you made the request, so now you have to send it. So fourth will be sending the request, and fifth is your follow-up. So in case they do not respond to your confirmation, in case they do not respond to your letter, in such a case you will have to follow up with them. Okay, and next is your factors to be considered while designing an external confirmation request. What factors do you have to consider? So first is assertions being addressed, that is what assertions are being, what assertions are you asking for. Second is specific identified risk of material misstatement. Third is prior experience of audit, any experience that you gained from prior audits, you will be using it to while determining the EC request. That is what has to be included in the EC request. Then fourth is your method of communication. Now your method of communication, is it formal, informal, it has to be written, or will it be in any other form, will it be email or will it be by letter? Fifth is layout and presentation of request, that is a broad format of how you will be asking. And sixth is your management authorization. Your management will have to authorize that, boss, I am asking this from a third party. Only when your management authorizes will you be able to design and send the EC request. Okay. Now there are certain conditions given where what action is to be taken against a response that you receive to the EC request. That is, once you send the EC request to a third party, they respond. Now what action will you take? So if the response that they have given creates a doubt in your mind, if the response that they gave creates a doubt in your mind, so you will obtain further audit evidence. Clear? If you feel that the response that they've given is not reliable, you will consider if it will have any effect on your opinion. If they did not give any response at all, look, our external confirmation is one of our audit procedure. So if they did not give a response to you at all, then you will have to perform alternative procedures, because this procedure you were not able to fulfill. Your next is unable to collect evidence. If you are unable to collect evidence, you will again determine its effect on opinion. This we will study in essay 700 series. And last is your exception occurs. If the external confirmation comes in and you notice some discrepancy, there is some exception. In such a case, you will have to investigate to determine if there is any material misstatement. Clear? And your last part is, what if the management refuses to allow auditor to send request? As we read in this part, that is, you need management authorization. So now what happens if the management does not give you the authorization, if they do not allow? So first you will have to check the reasons as to why management is not allowing. Second is evaluate implications on risk of material misstatement. You will have to evaluate that if I do not get this external confirmation, does my risk of material uncertainty increase? And third is your perform alternate audit procedures. In case the management is not okay with you communicating to third party, you will have to perform alternate audit procedures. If refusal appears to be unreasonable, if you are not okay, if you are not convinced with the reason that they have given, so if the refusal appears to be unreasonable or you are unable to collect audit evidence, you can communicate this with TCWG, that is your essay 260, and determine its effect on the audit opinion. Since you are not able to collect the audit evidence that you want, you can check what effect it will have on your audit opinion. And with this, we are done with this essay. Like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.